Did you know that a simple credit card can become a financial trap, especially for those who have just arrived in the US? Well, my friend Carlos, who came from Ecuador 3 months ago, found this out the hard way. An American friend insisted that he get a credit card, but forgot to tell him that, if he used it in his country, he would pay almost $1,000 in hidden fees. And that's not all. There are banks that push cards with absurd annual fees, interest rates of 30% and up, and even scammers posing as credit experts. Their target, people like us immigrants, with no credit history, who are still learning the rules of the game. But today you are going to turn the tables. I will reveal the 10 most common traps, and how to avoid each one, including the dirty trick that banks use to charge you annual fees, and how to get a card without any. The minimum payment scam, why paying only the minimum is a never-ending nightmare. Why you should never accept a limit increase before 6 months, and what to ask before saying yes. At the end, I'll also give you 3 cards that I personally recommend for those who are starting out, with no annual fees, no surprises. Want to protect yourself? This is war, and knowledge is your best weapon. Oh, and Carlos? At the end of the video, I'll tell you how he escaped this debt. Stay until the end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to fall into these credit card traps, especially if you're new in the country. And today I'm gonna talk about 10 red flags to watch out for because there are scammers out there targeting people like us. They want your money. So don't let them. Number 1. Trap number 1 is you end up paying an annual fee for a basic credit card. Here's why this happens. Let's say you go to a bank and you ask for a credit card. Now the thing is, some banks, they don't want to give you their most basic card because they won't make much money off of you. Instead, they're going to try to sell you a more expensive card, a premium card with an annual fee of maybe $50 or $100 or even more. And they do this by telling you lies. They'll say things like, "Oh, this is a standard card. Everyone should have one of these." Or they'll say, "Hey, you need a premium card to start building credit." Or they might flat out ask you, "How much would you like your credit limit to be?" And then they hit you with a big fat annual fee at the end. But don't fall for it. In addition to Discover, there are other options like the Capital One Platinum or the Citi Secured MasterCard, which also have no annual fee and are affordable for beginners. Take a look at them before you decide. Here's the deal. In the US, it is possible to get a credit card with a $0 annual fee even if you have no credit history in the country. To find these cards, just do a quick Google search for 0 annual fee credit cards and you will find plenty of options. For example, Discover, they have a card with no annual fee and they don't require a credit history in the US. All you need is to have a steady income and that's it. So don't waste your money on overpriced cards. Stick to the basics and save yourself some cash. Number 2. Trap number 2 is falling for the sky-high interest rate scam. Okay, here's the lowdown. When you look at credit cards, you'll see this number being thrown around everywhere, like 29.99% APR. It sounds fancy, but it's actually the maximum interest rate they can charge you if you carry a balance month to month. And trust me, 29.99% APR, it's not just a high number, it's a dangerous one. It means that if you borrow $1,000 and you don't pay it back right away, the bank is going to charge you over $300 in interest for a single year on that $1,000. And here's where it gets tricky. Even if you pay your balance in full each month, which is something that you should be doing, you still have to be careful. Some banks, they like to mess with you. They give you a great low introductory rate for a few months, sometimes as low as 0%, which sounds awesome, but after that introductory period ends, they jack up the interest rate to that 29.99%. And guess what? They don't even tell you when that introductory period is ending. So you might think you're getting a good deal, but then bam, you get hit with a high interest rate without even knowing it. So here's the right way to avoid ever paying interest on your credit card. And that is to pay your balance in full each and every month. And the only way to do that is by setting up autopay or by logging into your account and paying your balance before the closing date each month. Now, I know it sounds like a hassle, but trust me, it's worth it. Don't be lazy and let those high interest rates eat away at your money. Number 3. Trap number 3 is getting a credit limit increase too soon. Here's the deal. When you sign up for a credit card, you're usually given a credit limit, which is the maximum amount of money that you can borrow against that card. Now, it's tempting to think that the higher the credit limit, the better. More money, more power, right? But here's where it can backfire. Oh, and a bonus tip, even with a high limit, never use more than 30% of your available credit. For example, if your limit is $1,000, you should spend no more than $1,000, and try to spend no more than $300 per month. This improves your credit score and shows banks that you are not a risk. Some credit card issuers, they like to play games with your credit limit. Let's say you have a low credit limit when you first start using the card. Well, after a few months, they may offer to increase your credit limit. Sounds nice, right? Well, not so fast. Getting a credit limit increase right away can hurt your credit score. And it can happen for 2 reasons. First, when they do a hard pull on your credit report. Second, if they decide to lower the percentage of your available credit that you need to pay off each month. To avoid this trap, just don't ask for a credit limit increase during the first 6 months of using your credit card. And when you do ask for an increase, make sure to call the customer service and ask for one specific thing. Ask them to lower your required monthly payment percentage. This way you'll keep your credit limit the same, but you'll have to pay less each month, which can help you avoid debt. Number 4. Trap number 4 is getting hit with foreign transaction fees when traveling abroad. Okay, here's the problem. When you use your credit card in another country, you could be charged a fee of 1% to 3% on top of the purchase price. And if you're traveling back home and you use your card to buy groceries or clothes or plane tickets, well, these fees can add up quickly. For example, let's say you travel back home and you spend $1,000 using your credit card. If you get hit with a 3% foreign transaction fee, that's an extra $30 you have to pay just because you used your credit card. Ouch. But here's the solution. There are plenty of credit cards out there that completely waive foreign transaction fees. And surprisingly, even beginner cards often waive these fees. A good example is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. It has an annual fee of $95, but you won't have to worry about any foreign transaction fees. And you'll earn points on your purchases, too. Number 5. Trap number 5 is the minimum payment scam. Now, I know I talked about this in other videos, but I have to bring it up again because it's a major issue. When you carry a credit card balance month to month, the bank will set a minimum payment amount that they expect you to pay by a certain date each month. But here's the thing, that minimum payment amount is designed to keep you in debt for as long as possible. It's like a trap, hence the name minimum payment scam. By only paying the minimum balance, you'll pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars in interest charges over time. And we don't want that, okay? So here's the 30-second trick to avoid this. When you get your credit card statement each month, which you can find in your online account, just take a quick look at it within the first 10 days of receiving that statement. Figure out how much you owe and then write a check for that total amount. Pay it off in full before the due date and you'll never have to worry about paying interest or falling behind on your payments. Simple. Number 6. Special warning, avoid the credit repair scam. Unfortunately, there are fake companies out there pretending to be credit repair agencies. They target immigrant communities and they promise to fix your credit for a fee. Don't fall for it. You see, they prey on people who may not know much about credit reporting in the US and they claim they can remove negative items from your credit reports like late payments or collections. But here's the truth. They can't do it any faster than you could do it yourself and for free. Plus, if you have bad credit, you probably won't qualify for a new credit card anyway. If you need to improve your credit, I recommend signing up for Credit Karma and checking your credit reports for free. That way you can dispute any mistakes you find with the credit bureaus directly. Number 7. How to spot and avoid credit card traps. Here are 3 questions to ask before accepting any credit card offer. Number 1. Is there an annual fee? If yes, keep looking. Number 2. What is the interest rate? If it's more than 20%, just say no. And number 3. Does this card have foreign transaction fees? If it does, keep looking for another option. Also, watch out for red flags in the fine print, even if it's written in Spanish, Hindi or another language. If it looks suspicious, it probably is. Number 8. What are some better alternatives for newcomers? Here are 2 options. Number 1 is a secured card. With a secured card, you put down a security deposit, usually $200 or so, and the bank will give you a credit limit equal to that amount. That way, you'll never qualify for a large credit limit, but you also won't be able to get into serious debt either. Number 2 is to choose a bank that treats newcomers fairly. For example, I recommend checking out a bank called Axos Bank. They're known for giving larger credit limits to people with no U.S. credit history, and they don't charge any annual fees. So it's worth giving them a call. Number 9. What to do if you already fell into a trap? Here's a simple plan. Step 1 is to call the bank and explain your situation. Step 2 is to ask them to remove the penalty or fee. And step 3 is to make a promise to the bank. Promise to stay with them for at least another year and to continue building your credit with them. Just follow along and you'll be fine. Before you ask for a credit limit increase, ask if the bank will do a hard inquiry, a detailed check on your credit. This could temporarily lower your score. If they say yes, it may be worth waiting until your credit is stronger. Now I really hope this helps you. Please remember, don't let those sneaky credit card traps get the best of you, especially if you're new in the country. Knowledge is power. So spread the word and help your friends and family understand how to avoid these traps. Now, I promise I'll reveal 3 cards that I recommend for those who are starting from scratch, and I'm keeping my word now. Write them down. Keycap 1. Discover it secure. 0 annual fee. Even those who have never had credit in the US accept it. 2% cashback at gas stations and restaurants, up to $1,000 per quarter. No fee on international purchases, and even convert dollars at the official rate. Capital One Platinum guaranteed no annual fee, and you can turn it into an unsecured, normal card after 6 months of good use. Accepts security deposits starting at $49 for a limit of $200. Easy app in Spanish/English to track your score. Chime Credit Builder Visa, so different. It's not a traditional credit card, it uses your own money as a subsidy, but it's reported as credit at the agencies. 0 interest, 0 annual fees, 0 fees. Ideal for those who don't want the risk of debt, but need to build credit. But remember, only ask for what makes sense for your budget. And if you have any questions, talk to a financial advisor. Remember, this content is designed to alert and educate about common credit card risks, but it is not a substitute for advice from a financial professional. Every situation is unique, and factors such as your income, credit history, and goals may require personalized recommendations. If you are unsure about which card to choose, how to deal with debt, or improve your credit, consult an expert, such as a government-approved credit counselor or an advisor from your bank. Our channel strives to provide helpful information, but we are not responsible for individual decisions. Use this knowledge wisely, always do your research, and protect your money. And you, have you ever fallen into a credit card trap? How did you solve it? Tell us in the comments. Remember Carlos, who owed almost $1,000 in international fees? Well, he called the bank, explained that he was new to the country and didn't know the rules. He asked to cancel the fee as a goodwill adjustment, and it worked. Later, he switched to a card with no international fees, like the Discover I mentioned, and now only pays in dollars at the official exchange rate. Moral of the story? Don't take the bank's first answer for no. and always ask for help when you don't understand something. Asterisk now, the promise, how Carlos escaped this debt. He came to me for help, and together we took 3 steps. Cap 1, we called the bank and said, "I'm new here, they didn't explain these fees to me. Is there any way to review this?" Result, they cut 80% of the fine. Cap 2, we researched cards with no international fees, like the Capital one I showed you, and transferred his balance to one with lower interest rates. Cap 3, we put his card on automatic so he would never pay interest again for forgetting. Today, Carlos has a score of 720 and travels to Ecuador without fear. If he could do it, you can too. The secret? Don't be ashamed to ask, negotiate, and go after it.